Understanding narcissism is about spotting the takers in life. Narcissists are takers. That's all they do. They take energy, they take resources, they take over your lives. It's very hard to spot them in the beginning because they're genuinely chameleons. They blend in and they appear friendly because there are different scales or types of narcissism. Two major types that are covered in psychology are the covert narcissist as well as the overt. Overtness is a type of boldness, it's an aggressive energy, and covertness is a kind of sneakiness. The covert narcissists are they have an easier time weaving their way into your life because they're often very beautiful. And if they're not, they know exactly what clothes to wear, what makeup to put on what lines. They're very flattering. They appear very warm and they appear sincere, but their ambition is always to fill a void in their life by using your energy, your relationships, and your resources. That's their goal. They have low self-esteem and they have a lot of interpersonal issues, so it's okay to feel empathy for them. But empathy never means releasing all your resources, your money, or lowering your boundaries, because your inability to say no in a polite way and keep your boundaries with them is their insistence that they must own your life. And that's what a narcissist seeks to do. They seek to own people's lives. Now, we're not going to talk about whether they're actually aware or it's intentional, because that's not the point. The point is, consciousness is about owning your own life. It's about moving in tune with your own family patterns, your own needs, your desires, and what's accessible to you, and the love that you deserve. If you're unable to keep your boundaries with narcissists, then they interrupt all these positive cycles that are coming into your life. I speak from experience. And that's why the show is also called Empirical Evidence, because I don't talk about mystery that groups of people, and I don't mean 20, I mean groups of people across many nations can't prove. So the goal is always to talk about things that many people experience across different nations of the world. That kind of consistency is proof. Much like science tends to look beyond culture, beyond ethnicities, beyond color, beyond classification systems that focus on the subjective to find the objective. Empirical evidence is about finding the objectivity in the supernatural world. It's a known fact that narcissists do exist. That is an objective reality. If you change the name, you can call them spiritual vampires. You can call them energy vampires. You can call them parasites. You can change the name, but the qualities that vibrate in the person, that energy does not change. That's what you're on the lookout for. So, what is narcissism? How do we recognize the patterns that they have? How do we protect ourselves so that we can continue to love ourselves? And how do we change a toxic pattern if they're already woven their way into our spiritual DNA, which means that they're in your family and you can't get rid of them as easily as you would hope. But there is a way. There is a healthy way to get rid of them. A narcissist is a person with an internal psychic disorder. It is renamed as a mental health disorder in the United States. Their disorder develops usually before the age of 15. There are many things that cause it. The disorder stems from dysfunctional biological parentage. You see, it's okay to adopt people. It's okay to help take in people that have no family. But the issue with a narcissist is that they're unsure where their allegiance is. They're unsure about their relationship with their own biological parents. They're unsure about where to attach. And the period of attachment that should happen between 0 and 15 was either underdone or overdone. So basically the energy becomes extreme. When children are growing, they learn how to attach and detach. They learn how to develop tolerance to hardships. They achieve stability towards a person. Many times a narcissist either is overattached or under attached, but for whatever reasons, whatever they go through during the period of 0 to 15, the development of psychic bonds is not done appropriately or in a healthy way. And so that energy becomes channeled in other ways. By the time the brain starts to develop in the preteens and they understand how relationships work, they learn how to navigate the energies of desire in order to move the energies and move people to what benefits them. After all, many people are about growing. They're about self-benefit. Self-benefit is not a bad word, but when it's done to the extreme, where it diminishes the capacity of other people to live, then it becomes a spiritual type of violence. It's a psychic violence. It's stealing life force. So, as psychically sick people, narcissists believe that they are special people. Their natural disposition, personality that is to lie, and they don't listen to other people about their boundaries. They violate boundaries, whether that boundary is as small as asking them to stay out of your bedroom during certain hours, or that boundary is as large as asking them to stay out of your wallet, or the boundary is simply asking them to please, I'm going to use a strange example, close the bathroom door. And if they realize that it irritates you, sometimes they'll just do it. Because the goal of a narcissist is power. We all need power. Power is not a bad word. Despite what people think, it's not a bad word. But power must be measured with responsibility and accountability. A narcissist doesn't want to be responsible and does not want to be accountable. They only care about gratification. Gratification is something that we feel at the gut level. It's not an idea, and it's not a heartfelt emotion. Gratification is a real energy, and a narcissist is obsessed with the pleasures of gratification. So who can be a narcissist? Your adopted teen, your best friend, many high school teachers, college professors, anybody in the world can be a narcissist, even a parent. So this is why it's important for you to recognize that energy, because when you recognize that energy, you set the bar for what is healthy for you. Because if you don't set the bar, you continue to feel tired and you continue to lose energy. So in our next posting, we'll talk about recognizing the energy. It means recognizes who is stealing from you, because theft is not love. Recognizing theft patterns, it allows you to protect yourself from the sick patterns of the narcissist. It allows you to protect yourself from energy loss and resources. Because as I said, the narcissist's goal is to drain people and their families. Sometimes it's their own family, sometimes it's another family. It doesn't really matter to them because there's not a sense of allegiance or principles. The principle that they have is they have a fear of not surviving, a fear of not being remembered. They have a lot of fears, but most of all, they feel that in order to have what they need in the world, they need to manipulate people and have power over them. They need to manipulate people and have power over them, but not for the greater good, but for personal glory. Stay tuned for the next episode.